At some point, you probably believe that charisma is something you simply don't have and never will because that's just not your personality. That some people are just born with the gift of lighting up a room the moment they walk in, of making any conversation flow effortlessly. And you stand there watching, trying to figure out what those people do differently, convinced it's something that can't be developed. That's a coping mechanism, and it's a dangerous one. Behavioral science has discovered that charisma is not a fixed personality trait, it's a set of behaviors, and behaviors can be learned, trained, and adjusted. Social psychologist Richard Wiseman spent years studying people considered charismatic and reached a straightforward conclusion. What separates these people from everyone else are specific choices about how they behave in interactions. The real problem isn't a lack of charisma, it's that by depriving yourself of interactions or by not making an effort to learn from them, you've likely developed habits that destroy charisma instead of cultivating it. You might be practicing these habits every day without even realizing it. In this video, I'll break down 3 of those habits so you know where to start on this journey of developing social skills, which are, yes, non-negotiable if you want to live a fuller, better life. After all, humans are social beings. The first habit is making a bad first impression. Picture a scene you've lived before. You walk into a new place, there are people you don't know, and you automatically withdraw. You cross your arms, stare at your phone, flash a dim smile, and wait for someone to come to you first. It feels like the cautious move, but what you don't realize is that others are reading you and they're interpreting it as uninteresting. Neuroscience has a name for this, the thin slicing effect, described by researcher Nalini Ambady. People's brains form an impression of you in under 2 seconds based on nonverbal cues. Posture, expression, pace of movement. That initial judgment is so powerful it shapes everything that follows, including how people interpret what you do and say. You could be the most interesting person in the room, but if your body is saying don't notice me, people will respect that request. To break this habit, you need to change your body language. When you walk into a space, arrive open, shoulders relaxed and back, head up, calm pace. Make eye contact and smile, not just with your mouth, but with your whole body. That sounded a bit too philosophical, but you get the idea. And one more thing, instead of waiting for a conversation to happen, be the person who takes the first step. Break the silence with something light and genuine. It doesn't have to be funny or elaborate. Just be real. And speaking of being real, the second habit is directly tied to that. Habit 2, being agreeable instead of honest. One of the most common misconceptions people have is that to be liked, you need to agree with everything someone says. You should always tell people what they want to hear. Someone shares an opinion, and they nod along, even if they internally disagree. The logic behind this seems reasonable. If I never push back, I never disappoint. But what actually happens in practice is the opposite of what you'd expect. Robert Cialdini, one of the leading names in influence psychology, showed that people are not genuinely drawn to those who agree with everything. In fact, they perceive it as a lack of personality. What truly creates connection is when you have your own perspective and aren't afraid to express it. A gentle, well-placed disagreement communicates personality and confidence. Practice this light pushback with ease. The next time you have a different opinion, don't hold back, say it. I see it differently. For me, it works like this. No aggression, no arguing or debating, just the calm of someone who knows what they think. Last but not least, habit 3 is getting defensive over jokes. There's something counterintuitive here. The way you react to being teased says more about your confidence level than anything you do proactively. When someone makes a joke at your expense or delivers a harsh opinion and you respond by defending yourself, making excuses, or going quiet, you're signaling that it got to you, and that creates a strong perception of your lack of inner security. Psychology calls this low locus of control. People with a high internal locus of control don't need others to validate their every behavior. They process criticism or teasing from a different place, a place that doesn't need to prove itself. Studies on social dynamics show that people who can laugh at themselves, play along with a joke, or better yet, respond to a provocation with one of their own, are perceived as more confident, more mature, and harder to rattle. To break the habit of always getting defensive, here's a simple exercise. Before you react, breathe. Ask yourself, does this define me? If not, you don't need to defend yourself. You can just smile, play along, fire back with your own joke, or simply let it go with ease. By doing that, you show that others have no power over you. And that level of presence is something people can't stop noticing. The real fear behind all of this isn't being ignored at a party or not knowing what to say in a meeting. The real fear is being seen and not being enough. It's opening up and being rejected. It's losing control of the narrative and coming across as less than you are. Every habit you saw in this video was an attempt to protect yourself from that fear, except the protection was destroying exactly what you were trying to build. When you stop hiding behind a bad first impression, behind defensive reactions, and when you stop agreeing with everything just to be accepted, you become free. And that freedom is what people feel when they're around someone charismatic. Charisma isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, real, and secure enough not to need to perform. Now it's time to stop self-sabotaging. Subscribe for more videos and leave a like if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.